you have an obligation or a want to be here, you might not get hired. Simply for the fact that you want to be here. The largest thing, even in this, is sometimes people get overworked on those days. When they know that, being teenagers, you're going to want to work, you're going to want to get as much money as possible, because we all know we don't have enough money. Trust me, paying car insurance, doing all that, not going to help. But persecution happens because when people are told to work extra weeks and extra days on Wednesdays and Sundays, there are normally incentives. I don't know if you know this, but Walmart, if you work on Sundays, you actually get bonuses for working on that day, which lures people and teens out of the Christian faith. Further, we have to look, now that we've looked at locally, we've got to go globally. As I researched this, I knew persecution happened in the world. And to be honest, I kind of let that phase over me. I knew it, it doesn't affect me. We all have those thoughts. But the largest thing in global persecution are statistics. They're what gets the word out. David B. Barrett, Todd M. Johnson, and Peter F. Crossing, in their 2009 report in the International Bulletin for Missionary Research, estimate that approximately 176,000 Christians will die from mid-2008 to mid-2009. That may not sound like a big number compared to the 6 billion population that we have. But just think about how many people that is. Think about a city the size of Columbia, wiped out just for their faith. Yeah, we're getting to that point. The world is riddled with different statistics saying about persecution. And as it said, it's very effective. Oh, hello. How you doing? According to the World Evangelical Alliance, over 20 million Christians in at least 60 countries are denied fundamental rights, human rights that we hold evident and dear for their faith. You may not think it's a big deal, but when you can't walk outside, when you don't have a right to be a part of your community because of your faith, well, no one likes to be shunned in school. No one likes to be shunned in their whole city. According to the persecution.com, also known as Voice of the Martyrs, there are 51 known restricted nations in the world. Now, restricted nations are conveniently termed as places where government or social standing does not allow you to have any rights once you have declared your faith. You can be imprisoned, you can be killed. For all we know, you might not just cease to exist. Not just murder, but your whole life is gone. You have no legacy. And all for your faith. Persecution is prevalent in the world. But even though statistics are what gets the word out, what's more riveting is the stories you hear of persecution. Often teens never hear of the imprisonments for persecution of the faith. On September 17, 2009, in Beijing, China, in the Fintag district, Pastor Hu Hukwai was arrested by the China Aid Association. Pastor Hu reportedly called his wife and told her that he had been forced into a Public Security Bureau vehicle while on his way to a dinner meeting. Less than 30 minutes later, he phoned his wife again and told her that the police had taken him to an unknown location. The phone line then went dead. As of now, we don't know exactly where he is, but our prayers go out to him. Imprisonment is maybe the long-term persecution, while death, the most common persecution, is often fast and used to silence people who make a stand. While my sister was in an undisclosed location, there was a killing of a young girl for her faith. They came in the day looking to her for her parents to kill them. But instead of being able to find the parents who had made such a stand in their community, They turned their guns on this 13-year-old girl. She was shot 3 times. And yes, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't even covered up. You will not hear this story in any news. For to them, she doesn't exist. Yeah, persecution does exist in the world. Even within the United States, there was a pastor who took a stand against his community and actually got run out of not only of his state, but out of the country for threats because he stood up very prevalently in his community against some of the things that were going on that he found to be against our faith. And just for even standing up for him, he was run out completely out of the United States of America. He now lives in Mexico, and the story was gone from persecution.com. Death is the most feared persecution for one reason, and one reason only. No one wants to die right now. You don't. You don't want your life to end just because you say what you stand for. Now that we have actually brought persecution into the light, and through global and local persecution, I hope that you have a better realization of persecution in our world today. Please don't let the voice of the martyrs go unheard.